Well, it's that time of year in Oklahoma where wheat disease starts to spring its ugly head in our wheat fields. But Bob, we're not really seeing too much right now.
No, we did see a little bit in January. Amanda, Dr. De Silva, she saw powdery mildew and leaf rust in the variety demos here in Stillwater. And so there was low levels of inoculum around, but then the freeze came and that set it back some.
Does that typically happen, like, will weather impact wheat disease in the fields?
Oh, definitely. We had a fairly dry fall, and so there wasn't much disease, and the wheat was small, and a lot of it was planted later. And sometimes we do get a pretty good epidemic, pretty good amount of leaf rust in the fall, but then usually the cold temperatures knock it back quite a bit.
So but you are seeing a few things pop up, and there's some in this field right here. What are we seeing?
Yes, there are a few things. This is Dr. Carver's dual purpose observation nursery, so it was planted quite early, and the taller strips that you see in it is a real susceptible variety to rust and powdery mildew, and that's where I really look for the diseases to occur. And sure enough, I'm seeing some powdery mildew in there, some septoria, and also some stripe rust, which I just found today.
So for the producers that maybe planted a little bit later, do you think that might have help them a little bit in the fields where wheat disease could spring up?
Oh, it could, but you know, there's a lot more to play in that, because they want to make sure that wheat gets well established before it goes into the winter. And there was some pretty small wheat going into the winter, but I think I've heard Dr. De Silva say that she hasn't seen as much damage as she would have thought there would be, but a lot of that may be because there was snow cover too.
So, you know, typically when we're thinking about wheat disease, you're always got your eye on Texas, because it starts to move up north with those diseases. Are you hearing any information about what they're dealing with down there?
Yes, just this last week I heard from Dr. Amir Ibrahim, who's a wheat breeder down in Texas, Texas A&M, but he has a big nursery in Castroville and then also in Uvalde, which are way in South Texas, and that's where usually a lot of these things get started. And just last week he reported seeing both leaf rust and stripe rust present there, but at really low levels. And if by mid-March it's at low levels there, it usually is not going to be as severe because they're so much further along than us. But again, it's a strange year. He said in his update that they had 18 inches of snow in Uvalde, which protected their wheat crop there, but they don't very often get that.
What's some things you're going to have your eye on as the spring months kind of go into summer, close to harvest?
Well, of course, again, we'll watch to the south and see what they're reporting. Gary Strickland and some others in southern Oklahoma have reported tan spot and some of those other kinds of diseases, but still no rust reports. But we have cool, wet weather that's going to get things started, and like I say, there are some low levels of powdery mildew and stripe rust now, so growers should keep an eye open, because if a fungicide spray is needed, that's what would be needed to protect the yield that's there.
All right, thanks, Bob. Bob Hunger, Extension Wheat Pathologist here at Oklahoma State University. And if you'd like some more information on fungicide applications, go to our website, sunup.okstate.edu.